Hello and welcome back to Beckler Guitars and Repair, and today we're checking out a 2019 Gibson Les Paul Jr. Tribute Double Cut. I've been trying to get my hands on one of these for a while now, and finally got one. Let's check it out. So here's a cool model that was only made for about 1 year between 2019 and 2020. It's a tribute Les Paul Jr. double cut. And yeah, they're pretty neat guitars. It's got that really nice double cut shape. Comes with one P90 pickup, one volume, one tone. And yeah, very simple. It's got a mahogany body and a satin cherry finish. And this particular guitar is a three-piece body. You can see there's a seam line here, in the middle, and right here. So we've got a three-piece mahogany body, a Gibson P90 pickup, and we've got a lightning bar tailpiece. So what a lightning bar tailpiece is it doubles as a tailpiece and a saddle. So you've got all the little saddle grooves there, and they're intonated. So they're at different spaces here for the intonation of the guitar. It's also got two screws on the bridge so you can move it ahead and forward to help with intonation. We've got a nice rosewood fingerboard and acrylic dot inlays. We've got our Corian nut and our Gibson silk screen on the headstock. Let's have a look at the back quickly. We've got a maple neck, which is nice. A little bit of figuring in this neck as well. And then we've got our Gibson Deluxe button tuners on the back here. And we can see from our serial number, it is a 2019, made on the 78th day of the year. And I've reviewed a lot of one pickup guitars on my channel, and there's just something to it. They always have really extremely nice tone, and I'm not sure what it is. It might be that there's not extra magnetic pull on the strings from the neck pickup, or that when you're picking in this area, it can ring out a little bit more because it's not affected by that magnetism of the neck pickup. Or I'm not sure what it is, but most single pickup guitars I try have really great tone, and I'm not sure what that is. If you know what that might be, just please comment below. I would love to know. And this has the standard Gibson specs, a 24.75 scale with the 12-inch radius. Some people also swear by these satin finishes. They say it helps the guitar breathe more through the finish. So maybe that usually helps. They say that helps with resonance and sustain, but I'm not sure if that holds any water. Anyway, let's get some specs here. So our single P90 pickup is reading a 7.97, and I'm just noticing a little bit of flame in the mahogany as well. See if I can get that on camera. It's kind of a rare thing to see, but it's pretty cool when it happens. So yeah, some mahogany can actually show some flame. And wow, this example is extremely light for a non-chambered or weight relieved guitar. It's weighing in at 6 pounds, 3.1 ounces, so almost just 6 pounds straight. And our width at the nut is 1.69, and at the 12th fret, a 2.05. Neck depth at the first fret is a 0.80, and at the 12th, a 0.923. And here's a look at our neck profile, just like a soft rounded C. Flattens out a little bit by the 12th, but pretty standard. And it feels pretty thin and kind of narrow. So a little bit of a smaller neck, it feels like. And here's a look at our lightning bar tailpiece. Yeah, so you just attach your strings in at the front and they wrap around. And then this lightning bar helps with your intonation. And then these two little screws you can adjust back and forth also to help with intonation. Alright, let's have a look under the pick guard. And here we are. Okay. So, wow, that's kind of neat. So you can see here, this guitar actually has a long neck tenon, which is something you usually see on like custom shop Gibsons, not usually on the USA line, and not something you usually see on, you would expect to see on, you know, this lesser priced model. So that's really cool. You can see that's our maple neck, and it goes all the way to the middle of the pickup route there. And the routes are nice and clean as well. There's no fluffies or flake off anywhere from like a dull router bit. It looks really good. And it also looks like the routes are big enough for humbuckers if you wanted to switch. They also put 2 routes in this guitar, so you could put in another P90 with a different pickup, and or even just mount a new pickup into the pick guard, and you'd have a 2 P90 pickup guitar, kind of like a Rick Beato. So that's really cool. It's got some writing in there. WC is probably for cherry, something cherry, and then LPJ OT00. So Les Paul Jr., Tribute, something. So yeah, pretty cool. Some other writing in there from factory, but yeah. And then our routes over here look really good as well. That's just for the pickup cavity, or sorry, that's just for the controls. And as far, these are kind of tight over here, so it's a little hard to see. Let me just adjust the camera here. So we've got our Gibson P90 pickup there. So we've got our Gibson P90 pickup there. It's dated to March 7th, 2019. And then we've got our Gibson pots with the ceramic disc capacitor with all the braided wire, and the pickguard is shielded here as well. So yeah, that all looks great. Okay, let's have a better look at the condition. So yeah, the headstock's in really great shape, no marks or dings. And there's a look at our truss rod. So you can see that there's no thread showing, and it's still got paint from the factory. So looks like it has barely been touched. And there's our nut. And I ran this through the fret buffer quickly and hydrated the fretboard because it looked a little dark or a little dry. And now we've got some super shiny frets, and our rosewood fingerboard's looking nice and dark as well. And then let's have a quick look at the condition. This guitar is in really great shape. No marks or dings anywhere. It's really easy to show marks on a satin finish. It looks like there's just a tiny little mark there. And it looks like there's a wear mark right here. Again, with the satin finishes from Gibson, it's really easy to go through the finish. But that's kind of cool when you're aging it, or it looks kind of nice and relict after a while, if you're into that look. And no marks or dings anywhere on the back. And there's 2 options for this guitar. There's the side-mounted model and the top-mounted model. The side-mounted model is I prefer, because I really like plugging in here. On the front it gets a little in the way, I find. So yeah, that's a nice other feature for this specific one. And there's a look at our maple neck with a little bit of figuring in there. And a look at our headstock. So yeah, overall, really, really nice condition, and appears it has barely been played. Alright, managed to get quite a nice setup on this guitar. So yeah, using the notch straight edge, you can see that there's very little room between the straight edge and the fretboard, so that means that the truss rod is set nice and tight. And here in the 3rd fret area, when I use the 3rd fret, you can see that the 1st fret, the string is just resting very nicely against that. So that tells me that the truss rod's nice and straight and the nut's cut well, so we've got good action there. And then on the 12th fret, we can see that the low E is sitting at about a just under a 1.5 millimeter, and the high E is just at a 1 millimeter. So that's where I like to set my guitars, nice and low. And I'm just going to show that there's no fretting out or buzzing anywhere on the fretboard. I like to speed this part up, but if you want to hear it in real time, just slow down the player to 25%. So yeah, the action's set nice and low, and there's no hint of buzzing out or fretting out anywhere on the guitar. So that's great. All right, let's go ahead and plug it in and see how it sounds. All right, I'm plugged into the One True King rig. All right, that's enough of that, which is a modified 65 Deluxe reverb reissue. I've got my mod videos all up on my channel if you want to see what I've done to it. Basically, I've done the Bright Cat mod, I've switched up the speaker, I've done some stuff to the baffle, a couple other things. I actually have some new tubes that I want to put in there too. I'm going to make a video on that right away. Anyway, so we're plugged into that. The volume set at 4.5, the treble set at 4.5, the bass is set at 4.5, the reverb set at 2, and I'm using a speaker soak attenuator so I get more tube sound at lower volumes. I'm going to go ahead and just play. It's going to be a quick demo because there's only one option, basically. I'm going to roll down the tone a little bit so we can hear what that sounds like, and we'll do it clean and then a little bit of dirty. Yeah, it sounds really great clean. What I really like about these one pickup guitars is you can basically get the sound of a neck pickup on it just by rolling down the tone about halfway. So instead of a switch, you can just roll down your tone halfway and it's like you have two pickups anyway. So yeah, pretty neat. It's a really nice P90 sound. I really like Gibson P90s. Yeah, really great mid-range, just nice and clean. All right, let's try it with a little bit of dirt. All right, so final thoughts on the 2019 Gibson Les Paul Jr. Double Cut Tribute. It's amazing. So these guitars came out right before like the big price increases, 2019, and this was $900 Canadian, brand new, and it's an outstanding guitar for that price. And it just checks all the boxes for me. It's got I really like that double cut shape. It really provides easy access to these top frets. It weighs like nothing. This guitar is 6 pounds, just over 6 pounds. It's got a P90, which I love, a single P90, which every single P90 pickup guitar I've tried has just amazing tone. Again, I'm not sure what that is. You've got a volume and a tone. If you crank the volume down, or sorry, if you lower the tone down by half, it sounds like a neck pickup. So I'm really not missing that other pickup at all. It's got the satin finish, which looks great, feels great on the neck too. It's super easy to slide around, doesn't stick at all. And apparently the satin finishes help the guitar breathe better, so you get better sustain, better resonance, supposedly. It's got the maple neck, which is awesome. Maple neck, I think, is an upgrade on guitars, because having a maple neck, this is really nice hardwood, so you end up not having to adjust your truss rod as often. And I've very rarely seen a warped maple neck, because it just doesn't happen that often, because typically the wood is harder and it doesn't move as much. So it's less affected by temperature and humidity and tension. So it's a nice stable neck. And you got a really nice piece of mahogany here on the back. There's some flame in it. It's a 3-piece back, but it looks great. Really nice figuring in the wood. And I was able to keep this, set this up really well. It's got super low action and plays great. I buffed the frets so they're super easy to bend. And it stays in tune really well. And it's intonated perfectly. I set up the lightning bar tailpiece right with the screws and check the intonation. It's bang on. And this is just a killer guitar. Light, resonant, plays great. Not a lot of bad things to say about it. I think these are kind of sleeper models. The prices on them are already going up a little bit. So get one when you can, while you can. And yeah, they are really great guitars. Another great option on this guitar is you've got a cavity under the pickguard right here, so you can put in another P90 if you want, or you can put in 2 humbuckers, or whatever you like. You got room for all of that. You might have to get creative with the pickguard. I don't know if they make pickguards like this in other iterations. I'm sure they do. So you could get like a pickguard with the 2 humbuckers, or maybe 2 P90s. Yeah, you got a lot of options with this guitar, but it is great as is. All right, well, thanks for tuning in to Beckler Guitars and Repair. I'm going to have more for you really soon. Thanks a lot.